today at the Landmark Hotel. We're here to announce our show that we're running on the 19th of December at the Manchester Arena, which will feature the delayed fight for the WBO Middleweight Championship of the World between Andy Lee, the champion from Limerick, Ireland, and Billy Joe Saunders from Hatfield, England. As we know, the show's been postponed twice due to injuries and so forth, and I'm quite sure now, fingers crossed, we get it on, and we find out on the 19th who's the best middleweight in the UK. And for me, it's a fight I'm certainly looking forward to as a fan. It's got everything going for it, and I know we've had many press conferences talking about this fight, and I'm quite sure people are a bit fed up hearing us saying how it's going to be, and I'm sure that I know the guys are sort of getting quite bored with it. All they want to do is get in the ring, get the fight on, and move on from there. But this is a fight that I'm certainly looking forward to, and one that I believe is going to be one of the best fights of the year. We also have on the bill our new WBO Super Welterweight champion, sitting on the end there, Liam Smith, who's I think done a fabulous performance a couple of weeks ago in the same arena where he's fulfilled his destiny, which was to become a world champion. He will, as I say, be making the first defence of his title on the card. We're looking at a couple of opponents at the moment, and we will make an announcement next week and have a press conference next week in Manchester with the opponent. Terry Flanagan will also be on the card, so it's a fantastic night's boxing. 3 titles. Terry Flanagan, I thought, was outstanding in Manchester. Certainly announced his arrival on the world stage in the way he beat Magdaleno. So, from my point of view, it's, as a promoter and also as a boxing fan, it's a fabulous night of boxing, and one that I'm certainly looking forward to, and I believe the fans are. We've got everybody here to answer any questions that you've got. As I say, Liam's at the end, on the end there. Jimmy TIBBS, who trains Billy Joe here, who's to my left, and obviously Andy, champion, to my right. So if you've got any questions, please feel free to ask them.
Billy, when the fight was first mandated, you took step aside. Do you regret that now, given that it's taken almost 12 months to get the fight on?
Not really, no. I think that I made the right decision. I had a big fight in what the fans wanted me to have in last November against Juve. And I've done that, and I feel that I needed to do that before I moved on to the world level. So I've cleared up completely domestically, and now obviously up onto the world champions, etc.
Gennady Golovkin seems to be the name in the division at the moment. Since he's win the weekend, that he would like to face the winner of your fight. Would you both be interested in facing him next? Start with you, Andy.
Yes, certainly. If I come through against Billy Joe, all going well, fight after that would be Golovkin. That's the trajectory I see my career going. So we'll wait and see. But first, have to fight Billy.
How would you beat Golovkin?
Well, I think I posed a lot of questions to him. There's no one else in the middleweight division who could ask the questions of him that I could or can. I'm a big, strong middleweight, and I can punch equally as hard as him. And I see everyone who goes in the ring with him, they panic. His reputation is bigger than what he actually does in the ring. He doesn't do a whole lot, but he does it right, he does it correct. But the fear of being hit by him, or the anxiety he creates, it almost doubles the impact of his punches. And people are more afraid of the fear of getting hit is bigger than the actual taking the hit. So I'd be very calm. Me, I'm sure Billy Joe's the same. I fear nobody. And if I fought him, I'd be very calm inside, very composed, and I'd punch with him at the same time. And I think that's the best chance to catch him.
But you always whack clear a call about it. If you won this fight, would you be interested in going into a fight with him straight away? Well,
listen, obviously you just win a world title belt, you don't really want to go fight Golovkin first choice, but obviously it's a money sport. If the money was right, I'll fight him, and I'd be very, very confident of beating him if the fight was made. But he's an hard task to complete, Golovkin. He's got everything there. He's got power, he's got the boxing ability, he's got everything. So I'm sure there's other big fights out there for me, but in 18 months' time, that fight there would be definitely 100% fight that I take.
I wouldn't let him have it. At the moment, you know, he's got a tough fight with Andy. It's a very tough fight. Bill comes through it, let's get it right. You know, Andy's fought at that level, fighting Quillen, and various other fighters, you know, that he's fought at the world champions like Korobov and so forth. And when you look at that, John Jackson, you know, they're quality fighters, and I'm quite sure Andy's right what he says. That being able to do what you've got to do against Golovkin, being able to do it, stand there and trade with him, because you know no one has really caught him on the whiskers yet, and he can whack a bit. We know that Andy can punch, but nobody's going to do that. So that's a hard task, and I think Bill, he wins a world title. You know, I'd want to be sort of getting him some more experience as a world champion before putting him in a fight for that. You know, I'm not going to talk rubbish like Chris Eubanks or Johnny English. You know, to be saying that his son is going to be, you know, would beat him now. And he actually asked me to make that fight. I was going to report him to the NSPCC. But it's ridiculous that you'd even go there and talk about, you know, at that level. Bill comes through this fight, you know, and I'm confident with Bill. I'm obviously been with him from day one. I think Bill's got he's got a tough fight, hardest fight in his career. But I believe if he comes through it, then you know we'll look at the route. But he doesn't need to be fighting Golovkin now, and I'm sure there's a truckload of money there. But also, that money will always be there with him because he's going to be around for a while. So that's my opinion of that one.
Did they ever contact you at all?
Yeah.
About the fight?
Yeah, we had a little talk ages ago, and I know that Adam Booth has had conversations with him. I know that for a fact. So, you know, it's there. That's the carrot there. You know, and I'm not being disrespectful. You know, Andy, I'm sure would love that fight. Would love that to get that payday. And I do. You know, he's not a stupid guy. He's intelligent, and he wouldn't go into the fight if he didn't think he had an opportunity to win or a chance to win it. And that's his mindset. You know, and I respect him for that. But first of all, we've got to find out who the winner is. And as regarding Bill, you know, Bill needs a bit more experience before he got to that level.
Billy, a question. There's rumours that Andy Lee's team are already in talks with Golovkin about a possible unification fight.
They are.
I can just stop those rumours. There's not. Listen, no one's looking past Billy Joe Saunders. It would be stupid of me and Adam to do that. So I'm
quite sure they're saying wait till the end of the fight. But I know contact we made, but the bottom not by Golovkin's people. They're running out of people to fight. Let's be honest about it. He's running out of fights, but you've got to beat him first. And, you know, Golovkin is there, and you know, and I know that both of them are just focusing on this. This is a real fight. This is a proper fight. On paper, you know, to me, it's an even money fight. That's how it is. Great fights are even money. You know, and obviously there's a case for both the guys. Who's going to win this one? So let's focus on that one. Golovkin obviously is the superstar in the division, but we're going to have a superstar fight on the 19th. This is going to be a classic fight. There's no doubt about that.
If those talks are taking place behind the scenes, whether they are or they're not, it's a bit disrespectful.
I'm telling you they're not taking place. Why are you even saying that for?
But even if they were, you know, it's irrelevant. And whatever happens on the 19th is that this fight's taking place on the 19th, and that's it. And
This fight between me and Billy Joe is a throwback to the great fights of, you know, British middleweight history. The Eubanks, even though they were super middleweights, and the Bens. And the main thing is that nobody knows who's going to win the fight. I don't know, Billy Joe doesn't know. And that's the chance we're taking going in there. It's a risky 50-50 fight. I'm very capable of losing the fight. I'm very capable of winning the fight. Obviously, I believe I'll win. He believes he'll win. The main thing is that we're both putting it on the line, and we're going to live with the result for the rest of our lives. And that's the biggest thing in this fight. The world title is the world title. I've worked very hard to get it. I'm not going to give it up without a very hard fight. It's going to take a very good man to beat me and take that title from me. But there is a chance I could lose, and that's what makes this fight exciting, that both of us are putting all on the line here. And you got to remember, I come from that generation of yesterday's middleweights where there was Macklin, Murray, Barker and me. and none of us fought each other, and it was a shame. But now that myself and Billy, rivals in our community and rivals in our division and in world boxing, number 4 in the ring ratings, number 2 in the ring ratings, and this fight has to happen. You know, those fights were missed opportunities. They should have happened back then, and they didn't. This fight's happening now, and it's a chance for us and for the fans to find out who the best is, and that's why this fight is so important. So I got to commend Billy Joe for wanting to fight, for not hiding behind his reputation or undefeated record, and we're going to go out there and lay it all on the line, and you'll see on December 19th.
Also, I think this fight here is the winner of this fight. The gate undoes to the Cotto fights, to the Alvarez fights, to the big fights. That's where we worked all our life for. And you know, like I say, I'm not overlooking Andy Lee, and I'm not underestimating him. And I'm sure, you know, that he's not doing the same. But I know this fight here, if I box to orders and to my game plan, I'll be the new world champion, and I'll be in them big fights. So I know there's a lot at stake, and that's what I believe in. And you know, and obviously them big fights, you're talking big money, and that's what we're in the game for. And you know, definitely, I'm sure that he's not going to back down in the ring, neither am I. But a lot of people keep saying, you know, is this fight, is it going to happen? Is it not going to? Definitely going to happen. Listen, I mean, you can't help injuries. You had a virus, then I had a cut, you know. But this fight, if this don't happen now, it never happen. So I think that, you know, people need to start really looking into this as a serious contest. This is to the best middleweight, really, in the UK, and then
In Europe.
Well, in Europe, yeah, then to go on and fight, you know, the big names. So I'd like everyone to get behind this fight, and you know, definitely give us the support on the night.
Community of proud people. Was there any pressure from each side of your community when you go?
I think, listen, there's going to be more added pressure, not on our community, but on me and Andy. Obviously, that you know, from the back.
From the community, I mean, from the travelling community, is there pressure?
Well, listen, you know, Andy knows people I know Andy who knows Andy, so it's just one of them things that there's going to be a lot of pressure on both of our shoulders on that night. You know,
Excitement. A lot of people calling, messages, WhatsApps, and back and forth. But
It's going to be the breaking night. So it's the winner's going to be the guy. You know, that's what it is in the community. And I know what it's like in there. You know, whoever wins this fight is going to be the guy. Simple as that. Within the community, it's like in some ways like a throwback back to the old days before I got involved with boxing border control. It's who's the guy, who's the tough guy in that community. Well, it's going to be one of these. And he's going to be the one who's going to be walking around with his shoulders up. The other fella's not going to feel too good about getting beaten. So there's a lot of pressure on them. What I think is more pressure on them for this fight than you would get under normal circumstances, because it's a close environment. It's a close community. So don't lose.
I bet there's a hell of a lot of money being wagered by your two communities. I don't suppose you could put a figure on that.
listen, there'll be millions of pounds bet. You know, listen, I have people ringing me up,
Until the tape.
WhatsApp, and going on now to ask me, are you definitely going to win? I've got £5 grand and stuff like that. It's stupid, you know. But listen, this fight, like Andy said earlier on, it is a 50-50 fight. Like he genuinely thinks he can win, but I genuinely think I can win as well. But I know one thing: on the 19th, you can all leave your houses unlocked because all the gypsies will be at the show.
Andy, is there many coming over from Ireland? Do you know how many is coming over?
there'll be a considerable amount.
Is it like Cheltenham races?
I'm sure there'll be a big crowd there. And Manchester has a big Irish community anyway, so there'll be a big crowd there from Ireland coming over. I try not to get too wrapped up in all that stuff. No, they'll be there on the night.
Billy, how hard is it to catch up with the training that you've missed? Is it going to be more intensive now?
No, because I had 3 weeks out. You know, from the doctor's orders that I couldn't do anything over the cut, I couldn't even run. So I listened to what he said, and I started ticking over again. Not in full training, but it's ticking over. I've been back in training now 3 weeks, so you know I've still got 8.5 weeks to the fight. So plenty of time, and I'm in front where I want to be. Jimmy actually give me a couple of days off the gym. Yeah.
You're going to Spain?
I'll be out in Spain. Yeah, I'm leaving next week.
Did you catch an elbow in?
Yeah, I was sparring. Yeah, and caught an elbow. Yeah. Should have caught it with me fist instead of me forehead.
Liam, what's it been like for you the first couple of weeks as a world champion? You haven't had a lot of time to rest, to enjoy it, have you? Straight back in.
No, I had a good week, Stephen. The week I had was enough for anyone. I had to stop, so No, I'm glad to be back in the gym now. Feel fit and healthy again. Didn't feel too good last week.
And he's going to be busy. You know, he win. Hopefully, comes through his first defence, and then next year he's got to go and establish himself on the world stage. You know, he's a good puncher. I think he's stopped the last 6 now. Last 5 or 6. He can whack, and they've been quite exciting. I've always said that the better the fight, the better the opponent that's put in front of him, the better the fight you're going to get. The better he will be, and that's the name of the game. So we'll step him up.
Is there any situation with a mandatory for Liam at all? Because
Yeah, he'll get a mandatory.
Does he get 9 months now?
No, what happened with Terry was because of the situation. It was a vacant title at the time. There was a mandatory outstanding. That's why we got the fight. But no, his next fight will be a voluntary defence.
Have you got who you've got in mind, or?
We've got a couple, but we're negotiating. So not sort of being evasive, but we're looking. I'm looking for something that's going to be a
from America, or can you tell us that?
We're looking at somebody over here and also an American.
Andy, you had mentioned after the second postponement that it might be a concern that fans begin to lose faith in this fight. Would that be still a concern for you?
Well, it's tough for people who have to spend money on booking hotels and flights and that. From the people I've talked to, they've been refunded for everything. Well, may have lost on flights, but I'm sure they'll come. It's a shame that it happened, but that the fight got cancelled. But it will happen now. The fight's going on, and it's an excellent bill, and it's great to see Liam and Terry defending the titles so quickly after winning them. It's good. It's old school, and it's nice to see fighters staying active and busy, and two great finishes, two great knockouts.
Yeah, it's good
to win the championships. It's fantastic.
Billy, despite you beating him, the Eubank team still hanging on about Golovkin. What do you make of all that?
Well, I can't even put it into words, to be honest. I think Golovkin will knock him out in 1 round. I think that, they're completely deluded. They ain't got a clue what they're talking about. Listen, I beat Eubank thinking and training towards, is he fighting, is he not? I didn't know I was fighting until I weighed in on the scales the day before, because that's the mentality of them. You can't get a yes or no answer, So, people judge that performance where that performance really wasn't me. A few rounds was me, but it wasn't me. Mentally, it wasn't me. And Eubank, as soon as he gets in there a good boxer again, he'll get beat. And if he stands over a big puncher, he'll get knocked out.
But they're talking about Golovkin. Right, he's not fought since February.
Yeah.
Wins an interim title. The title gets taken away because it's not been defended, which is nuts. And had the fight with Bill, but for his dad, that there's a problem with that, so we sort of all walked away from him. And he's got a knockover job on the weekend, and then he's fighting Spike, who's a decent fighter and good fighter. But Bill's beaten both. This is the important fight, not Chris Eubanks fighting Spike Sullivan, and all the hysteria that they're going to put around that. The important fight is Andy Lee against Billy Joe Saunders, who's beaten Spike O'Sullivan and beaten Chris Eubanks Jr.
The reason why I'm in the position why I'm in today is because I've beaten all the British fighters. I'm not being disrespectful to none of them, but I've beaten them training for 6 weeks and not doing things right, and I've beaten all them. So what I'm going to be like training for 10, 12 weeks, what I've been doing things 100% is going to be a completely different me. It's a good fight because people think that Spike's a big puncher and going to knock. People just want to see Eubank get knocked out to shut him up, but I've already beaten him, so that ain't going to shut him up. So losing's not ever going to shut him up. So.
Well, I'm interested in seeing the fight and how it's built, their fight, because it's symptomatic of boxing these days. You got two guys who can't really fight, but talk a lot, tweet a lot, and make big, broad statements. And there's a lot of excitement caused by that, but what they do in the ring won't be nothing compared to what happens here. And it's interesting for me just to see which fight,
it's annoying.
It's not. It's annoying, but
annoying because you
it's the general fan who doesn't know much about boxing, doesn't know what he's looking at when he sees two good fighters
It's
in the ring.
been relayed to them. It's sold to them.
Yeah, it's Starbucks boxing, and it's like it is. It's not. You're gonna see two like no, because Weigel Sutton's a hard man and will be a hard fight, and Chris Eubank is a hard fight for anybody. I know. I've seen him in the gym. I know how good he is. He can fight. He doesn't stop. He's coming forward and he punches hard, and he's unrelenting. He's a tough kid, and he's got. With Adam now, he'll improve all the more. But this is the real fight. This is the fight where you're going to see top class boxing. Two former Olympians, the height of our game as amateurs. Billy Joe's won everything from British, European, Commonwealth, and I've had a hard career all my life in America fighting the best and become world champion. So this is the real fight. This is the great fight, and it's just be interesting to see how the two fights compare. And you'll see yourself by Christmas time. You'll know.
And it is this fight for. This is the world title. This is not, you know, the champion. You know, there's nothing on the line for their fight. And as I say, you know, Bill's done it the hard way, as Andy does. I mean, Andy's the NABF champion in America. He's won titles in America, and obviously he's won the. You know, he's been with some of the really good fighters in his time. You know, Chris Eubanks hasn't done that. The best fighter he's been in with, he got beaten by him, and that was it.
Jimmy, have you had to make significant changes to Bill's training given the stop-start nature of fighting?
No, not really. As you said earlier on, he's had 3 weeks off. He's been on the road ticking over a little bit of gym work last week or so, and I'm quite pleased with his performance, his attitude. In fact, having that car has made him grow even more. He knows that these things happen for the best. I mean, it's happened, he's put it back, he's shown for the fans, but as Frank and Joe said, the fight's going to go on. No matter what happens, this fight is going to go on, it's going to be a great fight. And Billy Joe's going to be in the best shape of his career, same as what probably Andy will be as well.
No concerns around through his spine then? Going forward, there's no concerns around doing his spine?
No excuses, nothing. We're going there to win, and we're going to carry on training as normal.
Well, I've got to tell you, if anybody, you know, touch wood, it doesn't happen, but if anybody pulls out this fight, there will be a WBO title fight on the night, because it's been postponed a couple of times. Then it will go to the next available contender. That's what will happen. So they're not, you know, the guys know that. So everybody's focused on, you know, this fight happening. As I say, hopefully we don't get any problems. But there will be a WBO middleweight title fight come what may on the 19th of December.
Question for Liam. Do you see yourself stepping up in weight at any point and fighting one of these guys?
No, not anytime soon. No, they're both bigger than me, a lot bigger than me. So no, I'm still comfortable at 154, and once I do it right, I'm comfortable at it. So no, not anytime soon. I'd like to make a good name for myself first at that weight, and you know, I'm 27, so you know, if my body grows, fills out, then maybe in time, but not anytime soon. No, I think I've established myself as a good, strong light middleweight now, so I don't see myself, you know, moving and having to do the same again as a middleweight. So no.
Another question for Liam. I saw you exchanging some Twitter words with Shane Mosley. What did you make of his comments?
You know, he jumped on something that way and said, really. I spoke highly of him, and I think he jumped on it. And but like I said, I knew what he was doing. You know, he private messaged me, not last night, the night before, saying, tell Frank I'm free for December and all that carry on. But said, you're obviously going to want silly money. I knew exactly what he was doing. He was trying to keep himself in the frame. He was banging on, he kept banging on. You know, I replied to him twice, and that was that. I couldn't be bothered getting into it all, but you know, I knew what he was at. People were saying, you know, he doesn't need the money, and obviously he's going to keep himself in the frame. It's another world title, so that's his thing. So I knew exactly what was on. I said nothing for a few days, and then, you know, 2 nights ago, I get a private message off him on Twitter. So, you know, I just don't know what happens. See what maybe Frank can make that back home.
Well, I tell you, we could make that. We'd do that.
John, mate, yeah.
We would do that fight. That's a great fight for Liam. Great fight. Tough fight, but a great fight and a winnable fight for him.
You have that as a first defence,
course, I'd love that fight, and you know, I was just being realistic, saying I don't think it can happen for December. I'm going to ask Frank, can he make it for March or May in Liverpool? You know, I think that is a great fight to go back home in Liverpool too. So, no, I'm gonna massively, yeah. You know, he's a massive name, but from my point of view, I think I'll beat him comfortably. So, you know, it's a massive fight, and like I say, I'm getting people talking already over a few tweets. So, you know, it's a fight I'd love.